a male dominated career, a difficult, challenging pregnancy, and top it off with a crown. We're talking to Andrea Binley Murray, so stick around. Hey. Welcome to Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Couri. And today's interview, I am so thrilled about, and I had a lot of fun doing this interview with my sister queen. And so I'm going to jump into it and share that with you right now. And I'll break in certain portions and kind of elaborate on some things. So don't forget to leave comments, engage with me. I am here live. The interview is pre-recorded, or was pre-recorded, I should say. But I think this is such a great and important topic that we're covering today. We're covering not only being in a male-dominated industry, being a woman in a male-dominated industry, what that's like. We're also we're going to be covering difficult pregnancies and how to overcome some of the body image things and what your body is going through during pregnancy and after pregnancy. And we're also covering a whole lot of other fun things like pageantry and things. So stick around, share this out with a friend, grab a girlfriend, grab a cup of coffee, grab a glass of wine, whatever it is that you're enjoying to relax and take this in and just enjoy this interview with Andrea Binley Murray. So let me tell you just a little bit about Andrea before I bring the interview on. So she's always been physically active, but when she was pregnant with her son, she gained 70 pounds, even though she ate healthy and she worked out all the time. And she had to learn how to love her body at any weight and begin the journey of self-love while healing and restoring fitness. So this is Andrea. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Alicia. And today, as she said, is Binley. That's what everyone calls her because she is the fire captain for the San Bernardino County Fire Department. And I am super excited because not only is Andrea, now you messed up because I want to say Andrea Binley is fire captain, but she's also a queen, my sister queen. So welcome to the show, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for having me. And yes, we are sister queens, and I am so excited. You hugely inspired me at the pageant because everyone was like, it's okay if you don't win if this is your first time. And then you're like, but you might still win if it's your first time. And this was my first official pageant in like 21 years. I had done one, and I only ever won because it was only interview based. And that was it. So you totally inspired me. So thank you, sister.
Oh, thank you. Yes, when I got up and I said I won on the first time, and it's okay if you don't win your first time, but you can also win.
But you can still win. Yeah.
Just so you know.
I loved it.
And I loved your journey, and I wanted you on this show because there's so much going on with you, and I wanted you to share with our audience all of the wonderful things, the struggles, the triumphs, and all of that. So, and when I was introducing you, we had this little banter before about our names because people, pronounce our names very differently all the time. And so as soon as I was going to say Andrea, I started getting in my head about Andrea.
I'm like,
all the different ways to say Andrea.
That's why Binley just works. It just works. It rolls. It fits my personality and it just works.
So I love it. So I want to start because you are a fire captain. And so you're in a male dominated profession, but and it's been a dream of yours to be a firefighter. And so how did all of that transpire for you?
Well, I consider myself very fortunate and blessed. Like I had what I'll say is a calling placed on my heart at a very young age. Like I knew in high school this is what I wanted to do. And so I think even back then, I started dealing with some of the people that maybe wouldn't understand why I was very prissy in high school.
Because you're a
Like
pretty girl.
I thank you. I played sports, like, but I was very aggressive in sports. So if you saw me playing sports, you'd be like, I could see it. But if you just saw me, out and about, you'd be like, wait, what? So I started kind of getting some comments even back then when I would tell people, and just people that didn't understand, or of course there's going to be naysayers and doubters. And for me, that was something that I really used to motivate myself. um, the best way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't.
Right.
And so that was something, like, it was fuel for my fire, essentially. And I just knew. So I knew from then, and I went to college with that in mind. I played soccer in college. Um, but I took those classes straight out of high school. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so I got started at a very young age. And I also got started in a mentorship program, an explorer program. And I clung to those mentors of mine that actually saw the desire and that drive
Potential.
in me and that purpose. And so they poured into me. So that's how it kind of evolved from there.
And once you were going through training, did people also, you can't train like we can, you can't go through, is it like Hell Week or
So my academy was 6 months long, and it was very physically demanding. We had to take preparation classes, physical fitness preparation classes. You have to pass a physical fitness test before you even get into the academy. One, because they don't want you to waste your time and their time, and they want to make sure you can do the job. So, and then you have a different test that you have to pass when you graduate that academy. So I did that when I was 21. Again, I played sports in college. I was physically fit. I was strong back then. But there's always going to be people that maybe size you up based off of your size, your height, your weight. And for me, that wasn't ever an issue. I knew my capabilities, but sometimes there were things that I had to adjust or do differently just based off of purely, like,
physicality?
yeah, just pure physicality. Like, I am not as tall as some of the guys. So what I've learned is, like, some of these engines are really tall, the compartments are really high. And even a guy my height wouldn't be able to reach some of the things. So I open a bottom compartment and I use it as a step, and I climb and get what I need. So I've always had the mentality of smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we look at lifting, using proper technique, like I've done CrossFit for many years, and having proper form, although I'm injured right now, almost back. But it really has helped save me from
Mm-hmm.
abusing my body in certain ways, just having that proper technique and gaining that strength too. So
I love
for
that.
me, there's always been those people that don't get it, but I feel that's more their own limiting beliefs than my personal capabilities.
100%. I couldn't have said that any better myself. Yes, other people try to put their limiting beliefs and their limitations on you, and it's up to you to choose whether or not you're going to accept that, or like break through and say, "Okay, watch me do it."
Yeah,
And you're a watch me do it girl. You're-
I am. There was one of the guys, he's a dear friend of mine, and he has been for years. I call him the brother I never wanted because I already had one. But he, and even when the guys get married, I want to put the guys at ease. I want to put their spouses at ease so they know that I'm gonna absolutely put my body on the line, myself on the line, to do my best to make sure they're going to be safe and coming home as well. So I would get the thing, well, can you carry me? I'm like, let's put your stuff on, let's go. And I would, like, drag them around, carry them around until they would say they're done. And so
Mm,
then they're like, okay, we get it. Like, and so I'm like, do we need to have this conversation again, or can this be a one and done type of thing? And so it was like, I let's just put that conversation to rest. I already did it. Like, you already know, like, and can we move
yeah.
on? And then once that kind of got established, I think it put everyone at ease, and then they could be like, all right, she's got this.
Right. Because there are many layers to this.
Mm-hmm.
Being in such a physically demanding job where, like you said, you may have to save your brother. You
Mm-hmm.
may have to save somebody who collapses and drag them and their gear and everything out of the
Or
fire,
citizens
or a
come in all
citizen,
shapes and sizes,
all shapes and
you
sizes,
know?
and you have
So
to know how to physically move that body when you
yes.
need to. And dead weight is heavy weight.
Yeah.
When someone passes out, they're not
Yeah.
helping you in the
No.
process.
No, they're not.
And
So technique is everything. Technique and
technique,
training.
technique and training is
Yeah.
everything. And so, what would you say to a young girl who has a dream like yours?
I would say you follow it. If that calling is placed on your heart, if you have that dream, you are more than capable of achieving it. And find a mentor. If you don't have a mentor and you're looking to get in the fire service, specifically if you're a female, you can find me on social media. I'm happy to mentor. I'm actually putting together a class, Alicia. It's called Welcome to the Lion's Den, and
Mhm.
it's specifically for females who are looking to pursue the fire service. So I can give them a full 360-degree view of things that they're going to be entering into, so they can enter with their eyes wide open. So we talk about everything from working in a male dominated field to bad calls and how to process those emotions, to if you ever decided to be pregnant and maternity leave, to physical workouts, diet, exercise, supplementation, sleep, everything. So we
Wow.
cover it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
How can someone reach you if they want to know more about that? What is your social
So
media? IG.
social media is going to be the best. On Facebook, I'm Andrea Binley Murray. On Instagram, I am at Fire Life Mom Wife, or you can find me at Mrs. US, and this is Elite US 2022.
IG, because IG is like the easiest one.
Yes,
Fire Life Mom Wife.
you got it. That's right.
So find her on IG, and I'll make sure I have all your other links
Yes,
in the
thank you.
description so people can get a hold of you to find out more about Welcome to the Lion's Den. So
I'm super excited.
that
It's
is
hopefully we're
awesome.
going to launch this spring, and it's going to be amazing, and I think it's going to provide a really great community. I think the information that I have to share is valuable, but I think the community that we're going to create through this program, and for others who are looking for a sisterhood within a brotherhood, to be able to have that support. So I'm really excited.
I love that. A sisterhood within a brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's so great. So before we go to break, I want to ask about you being a firefighter,
Mhm.
being this really, in this really demanding job, but you said you were also very prissy.
Yes.
So, what really inspired you to do the Woman of Achievement pageant?
The thing that inspired me to do the Woman of Achievement pageant was that it was platform based. And I have a platform that goes along with my fire career. It's called the Joel Cascadden Scholarship Fund. And our motto is helping tomorrow's heroes today. And what we do with that is we raise money and we give out financial scholarships to youth who are looking to pursue a career in the fire service or public safety sector. And so the fact that I got a chance to carry this platform forward, and it's something that is super passionate, that it was a retirement gift for a mentor of mine, and I help run it with him and his daughter. And so we love what we do. We love being able to give back. We love the legacy that it's providing him, because he used to do this out of pocket and give scholarships. And so we want to take this to the next level, and we wanted to get it some national recognition that it deserves, and to help more people and serve more youth, because a lot of people don't realize how many underprivileged youth we have that don't have means to getting an education, even if it's at a junior college, and that would be amazing public servants that want to pour back into communities. And so this was a great opportunity to carry it nationally.
And that's why I wanted you to talk about it. I wanted you to
Thank
talk
you.
about your platform and give you an
I love it.
opportunity to share that as well. So, how can someone donate or be a part or support that platform of yours?
So again, reach out to me on those places that they have right now. We're emailing applications out. We're going to be taking applications. We're going to be delivering the scholarship early spring, so February, March. And our website is under construction right now, and we're really excited to get that finished, because then people can just apply online directly there and even donate directly there. And so, yeah, if you guys are interested in donating, we have challenge coins that we do for fundraisers. So if you guys have any questions, or you would like to apply to be a recipient of the scholarship fund, come find me on Instagram at Fire Life Mom Wife, and then I will give you all of the outline on how to proceed.
Excellent. Love it, love it, love it. So, we're going to take a quick break. and then we're going to come and talk about Andrea as a mom. So
Yes.
pregnancy, mom, all that good stuff, because she has some great information to share about that and through her experience.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back with that. So stick around. I just want to break in because I'm getting all these great comments and I love what Andrea is sharing. Daphne, yes. Actually, I was 2020. I was Mrs. Elite U.S. Woman of Achievement 2020. She is my successor, but once removed, there was someone in between us. So thank you for that recognition. Corey, yes, thank you. She did explain to her coworkers that she's capable of doing the job, and not just explain it, but she also showed them. She proved that she was very capable. And Marlena, absolutely, citizens come in all sizes, and as that's why I think, paramedics, fire services, the work that they do, police officers, those first responders, the work that they do is so vital and so important. And I honor them for the work that they do and the training that has to go into that, because they have to be able to rescue and assist anyone at any time. So yes, Daphne, I think we all missed a whole year. Pandemic has all of us kind of thinking differently. But I'm gonna go back to the interview. This is really fascinating, and I really wanted to share what all the work that Andrea is doing, and to help others and to help women in the fire services as well. So check her out. She's launching, that program, Into the Lion's Den. It sounds really exciting. I almost wish that I was, going into the fire services just to do her program. So let me bring her right back on, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a short while.
Thanks, guys.
The Love My Body, Love Myself show is sponsored by Alicia Couri Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. Alicia Couri Inc. specializes in developing audaciously proactive leaders and teams using brain science and people data to get results. Visit our website, aliciacouri.com, for more information. The show is produced by Red Carpet CEO. If you'd like a copy of Age with Audacious Confidence, visit our link tree at linktr.ee/acoury. Let's get back to the show. I want to start because you are a fire captain, and sorry about that. I'm a little quick on the draw with my finger. So I'm going to get back to the show in a second. But I did want to also share with you, for those of you who are joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It's also on Twitch. Thank you so much for joining the show today. If you would like, people are commenting, go ahead and leave a comment. Share this out with someone who you think will benefit. We're going into talking about motherhood. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c/Alicia Couri. And you can follow me on social media. Just find me at alicia360.com and you can connect with me there. I'm also inviting you to join our group. It's facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. And this interview was previously recorded. So let me find our place where we were, because I accidentally skipped to the beginning. So I'm going to go back to the interview, and let's get more of Andrea Binley Murray, or Binley, as she's so affectionately referred to.
My body was just like, we don't
Hanging on. Welcome back to Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Couri. And my guest today is Andrea Binley. See, I did it again. You
No,
can't
you're
put
right.
something
You
in
got
my
it.
head. You
You're
can't
good.
put something in my head. Andrea Binley Murray. So
You got
Binley,
it.
Binley,
Thanks.
as she is so affectionately known as.
Yes.
Um, we covered her career in the first segment of this show. So if you are just joining us, go back and watch the replay because she's a phenomenal woman, beauty queen.
Thank
Well,
you.
achievement queen. Let's just
Yes.
put it that way, achievement queen, because she's my sister queen. In fact, you hold a title that I held
Yes.
a couple years ago. So she is my successor.
I have big shoes to fill with you and Kristen, and so I'm excited.
Yay!
Yeah.
And she's also a fire captain. So a lot of great stuff in the first segment of the show. So go back and watch it. So when we left off at the break, wanted kind of teased a little bit about we're going to come talk about mom life and
Yeah.
pregnancy and all that wonderful stuff because this show is love my body, love myself. And through pregnancies, a lot of times women, especially in the environment that you're in, because you're
Yeah.
in a high stress, highly physical environment.
Mhm.
And as a pregnant woman, how did all of that play out for you?
Oh, well, so pregnancy was a journey in and of itself. We were trying for a very long time, having some difficulties with that. So, very fortunate and blessed when we did, and that we're able to conceive on our own. And so, I would take a test every time before work because I knew. I was like, I'm finding out this day that I can find out. Because I helped write a pregnancy policy for work, and I learned all of the things, like specifically birth defects that can occur with my profession, and most of those were in the first trimester. So as
Oh,
soon as I
wow.
found out, I went on light duty right away, which means transferring off of an engine to a desk position. And that was actually really hard for me because I am very physical. I knew I could still do my job, but I knew it was what was best for my baby. It was my son. I didn't know it was a boy at the time, but so I knew that was best for my child. So struggled with kind of like that transition to office work from being
Yeah.
on a
And
different
the
schedule and
action.
being very physical. So that was a little bit of a challenge. And then I suffered from prepartum depression. So a lot of people know about postpartum depression, anxiety.
Hmm.
I had the hormonal fluctuation a lot during my pregnancy, and I suffered from depression while pregnant. So that
Wow.
was something that was really hard because we had been trying for so long, and I'm like, this should be the happiest time of my life, and it was just like a mess.
Oh, right.
And so with that, my body just didn't respond well to hormones. I recognized that early. I sought treatment from my doctor, a psychologist. I was doing therapy that whole time, but I also gained 70 pounds. I still worked out. I ate relatively healthy, but my body was just like, we don't
Hanging
like
on to
hormones.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not a fan of these changes. So that
And
was really
so let
hard
me ask
too.
you, how was even that? Because as you're putting on more and more weight and you're working out and you're eating healthy and you're trying to figure out, I mean, that did not help your depression, I'm sure.
It did not. It was a really, like, even now I'll get emotional. It was a really hard time.
I can
And
imagine.
I am just so grateful, like so grateful to my husband for his support, to my son because he's the reason that I was able to persevere and pull through, and God, you know. But it was super challenging, and so I had to tell myself, like, whatever happens during pregnancy, we can fix it
Yeah.
afterwards. This is my job right now. My
This
job
is
is not on the engine. This is my job. My job is to create and carry a healthy child. And I'm so glad that I did that because my son did have a minor birth defect when he was born. And I have no doubt in my mind that I did anything questionable. I was super strict, like with
mhm.
everything, followed every rule. I never put myself in harm's way when it came to my line of work. So I know that that's just God's plan, and it's pretty much almost taking care of itself. He has a venous malformation, but we haven't had to do surgery, and it's been such a
Yeah.
blessing. And so but I knew by following like my heart and just persevering through all of that, that that was God's plan and nothing that I did, you know. And then just like I said, everything that I told myself, like, I can undo everything. I can fix
Mhm.
everything. Um, and
Yeah, I think that's really important because especially since you were in depression, and there are
yeah,
women that struggle with the weight gain and they struggle feeling themselves and feeling good about themselves through that process. And you shifted your mind to, you know what, this isn't about me, it's about the baby that I'm carrying and making sure that I create the most nourishing environment for him
yeah.
to thrive and flourish in.
Yeah, and I think even sometimes, like, just in generalities in life, when we have a purpose that's outside of ourselves, it's so much, as women, at least for me, it's so much easier for me to throw my hat in that ring and like go all in that when it's not about me.
The
So when it
sacrifice.
wasn't,
Yep.
yeah, and so when it wasn't about me, it was that maternal instinct. Like, it was about protecting my baby and keeping my baby safe and healthy. Everything else I could fix. Like, that's just and there's a phrase that I love. It's called everything's figureoutable. Marie Kondo, that book. Have you
Mhm.
read it?
No, I
I
haven't
love
read
that.
it.
I love that phrase because it is like everything is figure outable. Sometimes it's just one day, 1 hour at a time, but it's just taking that next tiny step forward and addressing what you can in that next moment.
Yes, and I love that too, because my pregnancies were very difficult, all
Yeah.
three of them. But just like you said, it was for a period of time, and I had to do everything that I could do for the life that I was growing inside of me,
Yes.
regardless of how I felt, because I
Mm-hmm.
was sick every single, like I was so sick every single day, every moment of every day
Yeah.
all three times until I gave birth. And people are always saying, well, why did you go back and do it again? It's like, because I
Yeah.
knew after the first one that it's just for this period of time. And once
Yes.
that's over, I'll be back to me.
Yeah.
So for that moment in time, for that 36 weeks,
Season. Yeah. It's a season.
yeah, I kind of just gritted my teeth and bared it, you know?
And you have to, and I think that's like, there's so many things about pregnancy that are so beautiful, but there's so many things that people don't understand. And being a first time mom myself, I have two bonus babes that I did not birth. And so being a first time mom, like, there's so many things that are unknown. And if you don't focus on mindset and have like that support system, it can really like mess with your head because there's all these things and all this flood of information and self-doubt and even social media comparison. You see people with these
Oh,
tiny bumps, and I was like, so it had I had to
you
take
would have hated me, I guess, because
good for them, right? Good for
I
them. That was not my journey.
that was not your journey, exactly.
No.
I hate you, right? Because,
Yeah.
well, the only reason I had a tiny bump, I ate like as much as I could possibly eat, but I lost weight. I lost a lot.
Yeah.
I lost
Because you were
weight because
sick.
yeah, but not just being sick, but like my children were leeches.
Oh
Like they
yeah.
leached everything from me. No matter what I
Yeah.
ate, they just sucked it up, and
Yep.
I
They
put
needed the
on no weight.
nourishment.
They
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, people would hate on me, but I'm like, you don't know the journey I'm going through right now. So you can
And
hate all you want. I
I
have to
think what
sleep on
I
the
think
bathroom
that's
floor.
yeah, I
You know?
think that's beautiful in a different way, not the bathroom floor part, but like, again, you don't know kind of the journey that people are going through. And you may see somebody that's tiny and assume like they had an easy pregnancy. Or you see me who gained 70 pounds and assumed I ate everything in sight. You know what I mean? So I think it's
You
just a
never know
friendly
the journey.
reminder just to not make those assumptions because you really don't know. And the struggles that somebody's going through behind closed doors. And just, when you're pregnant too, that unsolicited advice comes. I got asked if I was having twins or triplets, and there was, I was, yeah, I was helping some lady. I was actually helping her in a wheelchair while I was pregnant. She asked me if I was having twins, and I said, no. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, just push the wheelchair gently. Just continue because you're hormonal and you're just
Say,
be
no, I
kind.
just have a
Continue to be kind.
really big baby.
Yeah,
I'm
please don't ask
birthing an
me again.
18-year-old,
Yeah,
okay? He's been in here for like I've been in, this is like my 400th week of gestation.
gonna come out with full teeth. Like,
Hair, teeth, everything. And so
yep.
I'm talking. So, so what
Oh,
happened? So you had prepartum depression. You gained all
yeah.
this weight. Now your son is born.
Yes.
Beautiful, wonderful,
Yes.
healthy, by all counts, except for a slight little,
Yep.
um, but by all counts, beautiful,
Healthy, yes.
perfect baby. Then what happens?
So then started the process of, like just being a mom and bonding and doing all that thing. So during this time, with my previous department, I used to work for the Upland Fire Department. We were going through something called an annexation process where our department was being disbanded. The citizens in the city no longer wanted private municipal services from its own department, and so they outsourced. And so we went out to bid. And so then San Bernardino County was the one who annexed us. So essentially took us over. So pregnant or postpartum, then we knew I was predisposed to postpartum depression anxiety. The anxiety was worse than the depression. So in a way that was a blessing because the depression was really bad when I was pregnant. Dealing with losing weight so I can get back to work, thinking I had a vaginal birth. So
Thank you so much for that one. And she's also a fire captain. Yeah,
and
I think that's really important because especially since you were in depression, and there are
yeah.
women that struggle.
Have you read it?
No, I
I
haven't
love
read
that.
it.
I love.
Like
Oh
they
yeah.
leached everything from me. No matter what I
Yeah.
ate, they just sucked it up. Now your son is born.
Yes.
Beautiful, wonderful,
Yes.
healthy, by all counts, except for a slight little,
Yep.
um, but by all counts,
Healthy.
beautiful,
Yes.
perfect baby. Then what happens?
So then started the process of, like just being a mom and bonding and doing all that thing. So during this time, with my previous department, I used to work for the Upland Fire Department. We were going through something called an annexation process where our department was being disbanded. The citizens in the city no longer wanted private municipal services from its own department, and so they outsourced. And so we went out to bid. And so then San Bernardino County was the one who annexed us. So essentially took us over. So pregnant or postpartum, then we knew I was predisposed to postpartum depression anxiety. The anxiety was worse than the depression. So in a way that was a blessing because the depression was really bad when I was pregnant. Dealing with losing weight so I can get back to work, thinking I had a vaginal birth. So I only had like my 8 weeks instead of my 12. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way with everything up here, with everything, like, there's no way. And so, with my doctors, like, they're like, yeah, this isn't going to work out. And, the biggest blessing that I had was, I had to go off for longer because of the depression, anxiety, and with my doctor's permission. But, the guys at my work, since we were going through this process, they had some time in their banks that they couldn't take with us during the transition. And my brothers donated time to me because they knew that I needed it. And so I was able to stay home longer with my son. And I needed every second of that
Wow.
for him, for me,
For
for my
you.
meditation, for my body. And so I went back to work about a month before we annexed. So there's all of these layers to this. And then, so essentially I'm working for a new department and I have to figure out a whole new, we still
The
fight
whole new
fire. We still,
social structure, the whole new, yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We went from 36 employees to 600. So there's a big shift. So small family department to a large, huge family department. And so there's a lot of different nuances there. People are still trying to like figure out who's who, peg you, size you up. And
Mhm.
so it was a challenging time. I got sent to a station that was a little further away, and it ended up being such a blessing. And the one thing that I think I realized during that time is the only thing I have control over is my attitude
Mhm.
and the energy that I'm bringing to the table. Like, I have no control over the annexation. I have no control over what
The
station I get sent to.
personalities of other people, what they
Nope.
think, what they, yep.
what they think about me, nothing. I have zero control over any of it. All I can control is what's within my scope, and that's myself and my mindset. And so I think that's really kind of when I started working on personal development a lot more,
Mm,
because I needed it.
yeah.
And it's been such a beautiful and amazing road, kind of unraveling that ball, for the last few years.
So there are two things that came up that I want
Yeah.
to ask about. So first of all, um, how I'm trying to see which question to ask first. This idea, so I'll ask this one first. This idea that women can bounce back in 6 weeks. Who
Um,
thought of that idea?
a
Because
man.
even with a
Sorry.
vaginal birth,
It was probably a man.
vaginal birth, I mean, I did it 3 times, but it tears you apart like from the inside
Legitimately, it
out.
does, because I had that too.
You
Um,
know? So how does your body then heal itself to go back to a physical job in
yeah,
8 weeks? That is
it
not
doesn't.
even, so not even counting the postpartum and all that stuff, and then having to pump and store and all of that,
Mhm,
getting your energy back and being back at peak performance in 8
mhm,
weeks after giving birth to a child.
yeah.
Who, like, come on.
You know what? Like I actually have a vision board and I can see it here. And one of the things that's up there is maternity rights. And that's something that I hope maybe in my future, if I ever decide down the road to ever throw my hat in another ring, that's something that I think that there are so many other countries that do it better than we do.
Mhm.
And there's scientific studies behind that showing that amount of baby bonding time will have long-term health benefits for baby and mom. And
Yeah,
so I think we don't have to recreate the wheel here, but I think there's some things that we can do.
that we
But
need to, yeah, for women. Mhm.
I was very fortunate to be able to have that transparency with my doctors and that open communication and dialogue. And they were on board and they agreed because they saw it.
Yeah.
Um, and so I even had diastasis recti where your abs separate. So it's like
Mm.
you're going back to a physically demanding job. I have like, if you had a hernia, you wouldn't be on the
You
floor.
will
But
not be
if
on the,
my abs separate, no big deal.
no
Like,
big deal. Come on, pop that baby out and
yep,
continue, keep going, keep going.
it
Yeah,
it took
the
me a
idea that we
full
can do this.
yeah, it took me a full year to lose all of the baby weight.
That was my
Um,
second question, is
yeah,
like getting yourself back into form. How challenging was that,
it took me
having
a
put
full
on so
year.
many?
And I try to give myself grace because I'm like, hey, listen, it took you, 40 weeks to put this on, 40 weeks and 6 days because he was 6 days overdue. But it took me that long to put it on. I need to give myself at least that time to take it off. And that way I gave myself a little bit of grace. So I'm not on the scale every day beating myself up because again, it wasn't just about the number. It was about feeling good. I think when you have a baby, your body will never be the same for one reason or another. Maybe some people are, but like I think probably in the 90% of women, something changes. There's going to be a tiny change here or there. And whether it's a
There's
stretch
residuals.
mark, whether it's weight, whether it's, whatever it is, things change and it's okay. It's okay because it's beautiful. You've done something that half of the population in the world cannot do. Like you carried a child, you gave birth. And when I went back to work, I was still pumping. I had freemies that went in my sports bra. I had a backpack pump that had like a cigarette lighter, a backpack adapter. My first day at county fire, I was sent to a vegetation fire for mop up. And there was this chief, and he was very like rugged and tough and like kind of gruff. And so he comes up. We had a little bit of break at lunch, and they brought us food. And I said, "Hey, do we have like 15 minutes? I need to go pump." And as a captain, I don't pump an engine. That's the engineer's job. And so he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he goes, "Wait, where's your engineer?" I go, "He's right here." He's like, "Why do you need a pump?" And I go, "Myself." And he goes, "Oh, oh, 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 oh." Like total.
It's like,
And so, but from that moment on, like he and I got along because he had respect for me because he's like, "Well, what are you going to do with the milk?" I'm like, "I'm going to bag it and put it in the ice chest." I'm like, "I have triple bags." I asked the guys, they're cool with it. And he's like, oh, like she kind of thought of everything. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I had to
she got
figure
this
it out.
covered. Okay, cool.
So it was things like that. And but it's just, you can do this job, you can do any job, you can do any career that you want to. And as long as you're not looking,
Figureoutable.
yes, it's all figure outable. Like, you just have to plan ahead and be resilient and adapt. And even when it comes to the weight loss and loving your body, like, one of my phrases that I love is give yourself as much grace as you'd give your best friend. If your
Mm,
best friend had a baby and you'd be like, why haven't you lost the weight yet? Why would you say that to yourself? You would never say that to her, you know?
right.
So that's one thing that I always thought, like, give yourself as much grace as you give your
You
best
give to your
friend.
best friend, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And just, I know we're kind of out of time, but
Yeah. It's okay.
um, I just want to talk about the pumping situation because engorged breasts are not fun.
No,
They are not fun. So it's as much for the baby, it's as much for us as it is for the baby. You
it
have
is.
to find the time. So for women who have not yet had a baby or planning to have a baby and you don't know about pumping and all of that, you need to do that regularly because that milk bu- builds up and then
And it could lead to mastitis, infections. It can
all
lead to
kinds of
other health of, you
health
know.
issues. So don't
This,
be the hero on the job and say, well, I'm embarrassed, I can't.
no,
You have to, for your own
you
health,
do.
you have to.
And there are certain laws that protect you, that you have to be able to have this time and you have to be able to have a place to do it. For me, with this job frame, or this job, and the time frame that I had was typically pretty short, I found something that worked for me. This is, I have no sponsorship, but it's called a freemie. And so it's collection cup, but it goes inside, like it would go in my sports bras. All you would see are two tubes, very discreet. I could put it in without anybody being exposed. Like, so that's what I did on the fire engine most of the time. And it was perfect. I could do it. I could walk around, do other things. I could do it while I was driving to work or home. And
Nice.
so,
Where was that when I was pregnant,
right.
giving birth? Oh
So
my
you
gosh,
don't have to
I
sit
love
in a
that.
corner anymore, ladies. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have, there are things out there that you can use that's going to fit your body, your time frame, that you can do on the go, and you can still be productive in the areas that you choose. And so
Mhm.
and you can still go home and just spend that time rocking and doing that too. It's up to you, the way that your life is set up and your priorities and your schedule and your time frame. So don't shy
Yeah.
away from one way or the other. You can figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So give yourself as much grace as you will give your best friend
I
through
love
this
that phrase.
process. Yeah.
Yes.
And the other big thing you said is it took you 40 weeks to put it on. Don't expect it to come off
Yeah.
in 6. So
It
give
really
yourself at least 40 weeks for it to start
It really
coming
did.
off and
And
doing
the
itself.
the thing that I think a lot of components are missing, I addressed my gut health. And that was huge for me. And that was also the way that I conquered my postpartum depression and anxiety. I found an all natural plant-based product that I felt comfortable taking while breastfeeding. And it was something that, like, I felt the weight of the world lift from my
So
shoulders.
that's your second brain, your gut.
Yes, it is. And so I'm a huge gut health nerd. And so take care of yourself, look into supplements. I am a huge thing. Go ask your doctor, but print out the label. Don't just bring a bottle. So make them look at it. It's your copay, it's your time. Use them as a resource, but do your due diligence and make sure that you're doing what's best for your body.
I love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Binley. It
Oh,
has
it's so
been
good to see
such
you,
an
Alicia.
awesome, awesome pleasure. And you gave us so much richness in this interview. Go follow her. Give her a follow
Thank
on
you.
IG.
Oh,
Fire Life Mom Wife. It's right there going across the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and everything. And happy rain. I'm going to see
thank
you.
you.
I'll see you in November when you have to crown
I
your successor, but
I
I
think
will
I'm
be
gonna
there.
see you before that, though. I think we're gonna connect, and we'll be in touch before that. And I
Definitely.
want to travel and do as much as I can this next year, and just spread some love and light. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored and blessed.
I appreciate you for saying yes. So
Yeah.
thank you. And
Thanks, guys.
we will be back again next week with another wonderful episode of Love My Body, Love Myself. So until then, Alicia, take it away. Thank you. So wasn't that awesome? Yes, we had some tech glitches in between. I had like a little blackout thing happen and lost everything, but came back up really quickly. So that was awesome. So please give Binley a follow. Go to um, Fire Life Mom Wife. I think I had that backwards. Fire Life Mom Wife, and and follow her on IG as well as Facebook, um, and also I want you to connect with me at alicia360.com, and I'm just fixing my typo there. Fire Life Mom Wife. Got it. Also connect with me, Alicia 360. And we got a couple shows coming up. So first of all, I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, we have on Mondays, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence on winwinwomen.tv. Unleash Your Audacious Confidence. Come join the conversation there. We do 30 minutes of presentation or interview, and then the next 30 minutes, it's all interaction. You can talk, you can ask questions, it's Q&A. So come on over, winwinwomen.tv. It is a platform that is running programming 24/7. So you can go there anytime and kind of join in any show. But my show is Monday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Also, Small Business Saturday shout out. It's the first and third Saturdays of the month. We don't have a guest this Saturday coming up, but the following Friday, which is the 25th, I want to share this with you guys because we have our happy hour cocktail networking event on the 25th. So on the 25th of February at 6 p.m. Eastern time, if you have a small business, thinking about a small business, come on over and join us for our networking event. Please check out my link tree for the link to the event. My link tree is linktr.ee/acouri, and you can register for that event or just follow me on social media. You'll see it. Register there. And it's going to be a great time. You connect with other business owners, collaborate. We do a lot of really fun things there too to get to know each other. So it's a great time. And then, of course, on Wednesday nights, we have Love My Body, Love Myself. If you would like to be a guest on any of our shows, go ahead and email us. Send us an email, it's support@aliciacouri.com. Support@aliciacouri.com. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows, or if you want to sponsor any of our shows, just go ahead and drop an email to support@aliciacouri.com. Follow us on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, it's at the Alicia Couri or at Audacious Confidence. Give us a follow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Alicia Couri. And of course, join our Facebook group. We would love to have you on our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. And that's for Love My Body, Love Myself. So this was a really great show. Next week, we have Binley's sister, Queen. She also won, and they've been best friends for the longest time. And it is going to be a phenomenal show next week with my guest. It's Jeanette Vanderpool. Jeanette Vanderpool is going to be our guest next week. Also, Mrs. U.S. Woman of Achievement 2022. And her story is remarkable. You're going to love her story as well. So come on back and join us next week, Wednesday, for that. And until then, is Alicia saying to do something for yourself. Do something for yourself because, you have one life, one body. Appreciate it. Love it. I had a guest a couple weeks ago on my Unleash Your Audacious Confidence show that said, the heart, your heart, pumps blood to itself first before it pumps it to the rest of the body. So if your heart knows to take care of itself first, your heart knows self-care, how is it that we don't know to take care of ourselves first? So do something this week to show that you love you, to show that you love yourself. Taking care of yourself is an obligation. It is your duty. It is not selfish to make sure that you are taking care of yourself in your health and in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, emotionally. So do something. Do something for you this week. And I will see you next week on another episode of Love My Body, Love Myself. Take care, everyone. Mwah.